Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I'm going to talk about the dictionary in Python. Okay, so what is dictionary? When you have a data in key and value pair, so in that time, how we will store the data in Python? Obviously, if you have multiple values, we can use list or tuple, we can use this set, okay? So that kind of things are possible for the single values, meaning the list of values. But let's say you have a data in key and value pair format, meaning there is a, let's say, example of subject versus marks, obviously. So subject will be Marathi, and then marks will be comes in the picture like this 80, and then Hindi, then marks will be 90, then English, okay, then marks will be 99, like this. If you have a data, so here your subject is a key and marks are the value, right? So if you want to handle this kind of data in case of Python, so dictionary comes in a picture. So dict is nothing but dictionary. Dict is a short form that we use for the dictionary in Python. Okay, it is a built-in data structure and obviously used to store and manage the collections of key and value pairs, as I said. So not all the time we will have the data in the list format, but so we sometimes we may have a data in the key and value pair format, so we need to handle this data using dict in Python. Okay, so each key is associated with its value, corresponding value, and it is used, meaning the dictionaries are used for the storing and retrieving data based on the unique identifier. So obviously, as this statement says, the identifier is nothing but key here. Okay. In other programming languages, even in case of PHP, the dict in a Python is nothing but associative arrays, or in Java or in .NET it is a hash map. Okay, in other programming languages this is how it referred, but yes, the purpose remains same. What are the characteristics of dictionary? So dictionary items are ordered. Earlier, before the Python version 3.7, it was unordered, but now from 3.7 onwards it is ordered. Dict items do not support the indexing, so whenever you have to access the elements you are supposed to use the key, and that is what the unique identifier here. Okay. Then dict items are mutable, meaning you can add items, you can remove items, you can update the value of items. And here dict do not allows duplicate keys. It will allow duplicate values. Obviously, we have taken an example of English. So you cannot have the English twice as a key in the same dict, but you can have 80 marks for multiple subjects, right? So this is what the meaning of this. They do not allow duplicate means. Now, how to create a dictionary? Okay, if you want to create the dictionary, there are two ways. You can use the curly bracket and pass the data in the key and value pair. Python will treat that as a dictionary. Okay, if I say name, and here I'm going to say email. So email, if I say webchamp dot takeadu@gmail.com. Okay, this is what my email address. Okay, for example. And if you want to add the new key like DOB and all, so you can add DOB, but obviously here you need to surround everything, meaning key should be in the text format. When you use this kind of syntax, and your value can be in any of the format, it can be a number, it can be text, it can be a boolean, that is not a problem. Okay, so if I say 0, Even you can have the key as a different types of data. So if I say 10, 15, okay, I'm using today's data as a DOB. Okay, for example, this is fine. Okay, this is the one way. And if you check the type of data, so if I go and if I check the type of D, and if I print this to see the output, what it is telling, so just go and run py. Py stands for Python. Py underscore dict is the file name .py, and let's hit the enter button. So this is how we used to run the Python program. And it says class dict. Okay, so this dict meaning dictionary. This is the one way. Even here you can create the dictionary using dict constructor also. See, if I go and if I say dict is a constructor, it's class, meaning we are going to create the object of dictionary. That's why. Okay, and here same dictionary, if you go try to create, okay, so you don't need to specify the key in text format or string format. Okay, so here if you use the dictionary constructor, you need to use this is equal to symbol instead of the colon, and even you don't need to pass the key as an text. Okay, so that is invalid here in case. So there are two ways to create the dictionaries. Obviously, if you are using the constructor, you are supposed to use the is equal to sign. Okay, and key should be like a variable. It should be like a variable, right? The way we create the variables. So you can create the variables, pass the variables to the dict constructor, and it will be considered as a key and value pair. Okay, even here also, if you go and if you check the type of D, so for this case also it will say class dict. So we will get twice dict because first one is for this D, second one is for the dict constructor dictionary. Okay, so these are the two ways we can create the dictionary. Now, how we can access the elements of dictionary? How we can access the elements of dictionary, or how we can access the dict items? So since dict does not support the index, it is fine, it doesn't support the index, but we have a unique key. So this key cannot be duplicated. Okay, if you can, once you use the name as a key in any of the dictionary, in the same dictionary you will not be able to use the same name, meaning same key, for another key value pair. Value is possible, but key is not possible. Okay, so now my task is to access the data. Okay, so if you want to access the value of name, you can use the index syntax, but here you are supposed to pass the value instead of value, meaning instead of index, here you are going to pass the key. Okay, and if I try to print this, okay, you can see that it is returning me the value associated with that key. So this is how the values and values of the dictionary can be accessed. Okay, even there is a method called get method, key method, and values methods. So obviously, so if you want to get the data, meaning the value of any key, you can use d dot get, and you can pass the key here as a name. Okay, I'm just passed the name of key, and if you go and if you simply print this, even this is going to return as the value. So now if I run this, you can see that this is returning me the same result the way earlier I was getting. Okay, this is what the way. Okay, if you want to get the list of keys, all the list of keys, so you can use the d dot keys. Okay, this is what the method you are going to use. And here you can see that what it is going to return a set like object providing a view on dictionary keys, meaning you will get the list of dictionaries. List of dictionaries. Okay, let's see what type it is going to return. So if I try to print this output, okay, so here you can see that dict keys, and then it's like a list of all the keys from the dictionary. Okay, similarly, if you want to print the values only, you can use values method. Values method. And now if I go and if I run this, so you will get dict keys, dict values, and values are associated, meaning in the same sequence. Okay, since this is ordered, so we will get the data in the same order as we have. Okay, so we have seen get method, key method, and value method. So these methods are also used to return the to get the data or to get the key from the dictionaries. Okay, next is how to modify. Okay, as I said, it is a immutable collection, so it is possible to add new items, it is possible to remove the existing items or values, or it is possible to update the values of dictionary keys. Okay, so how this is going to work, let's understand. Okay, so indexer syntax we can use the way we access the value. In the same way we can update the value. If I say d of name is equal to, if I wanted to update the value, okay, so it will update like this webcam. And if I go and if I try to print this d, okay, you will see the output has a dictionary here and name value, meaning the name is changed to webchamp. Earlier it was Brahma, right? So this is how we can update the value. But let's say if this, whatever the key we specified is not exist. Okay, I'm going to add the underscore here to make the difference. Okay, now this key is not exist in this dictionary. So how it will deal? So it is going to add that item to the dict. Okay, and you can see that it has added the name underscore is equal to webchamp. If you try to update anything and by any chance if the key is not available, instead of modifying it will add that key value pair to the dictionary. Okay, this is what the behavior of dictionary, this is how it works. Okay, so now there is one more method to do this. There is a method called update, and if you want to update the element, even it works very similar to this. Okay, let's go and call the update method. Okay, so if I go and if I say d dot update, and here you can see that you are supposed to pass the key here. Okay, so I'm going to pass update and key and gate items, meaning you are supposed to pass both. Okay, so here I will pass name and what he wants to do. So obviously this is not going to accept the value. As a list you are supposed to pass, meaning as one pair you are supposed to pass this. And here I will say webcam. Okay, so this is going to update the name key. Okay, and now if I run this code, okay, it says dictionary update sequence element 0 length of 4 and 2 is required. Okay, let's see, this is throwing the error at line number 3. That is fine. The line number 3 is this. Dictionary update sequence element Number 0 has length 4. 2 is required. Okay, let's understand what does this mean. Okay, so this is syntax error, I can say. So here we have to pass, or we have to add the dict item only. Okay, so in this case, it is going to work, meaning key and value pair we have to add, then and then only it is going to work. I thought I got confused on the syntax. Okay, that is fine. So here, if I see the syntax, it shows the square bracket. That's why I got confused. But yes, this instead of square bracket, we need to use this key and value pair as a dict. Meaning, if you want to update, you are supposed to go and pass the another dict. Okay, and now let's see how it is going to behave. Okay, so I think that command prompt has stopped. Okay, so if I say py underscore dict is my file name, and then dot extension. So now this has changed. Okay, this is able to update the existing value of name key. Let's say if the name key is not exist, meaning name underscore key is not exist. Okay, so in that case, how it is going to behave? So it will add the new key. As I said, the way we had done this using indexer syntax, similarly it is working. Okay, with the help of update method also, it is fine. So now how to add the dict element. So obviously we have seen one of the way that by using update method, even if the key is not exist, it will add, right? And then, meaning this is what the way we have seen already, right? Modifying dict items, modifying addition of items. So obviously indexer syntax you can use even if you want to add the new items. So you can go and you can simply say d of and specify the key as a location. Okay, and I will say is equal to, I will say sorry. Okay, this is what my location. Now let's try and run this. So you will be able to see that this is able to add. Even if you do this by using the update method, this is going to work in the same way. Now let's say if you want to remove something or any item from the dictionary, how you will. So there are various methods such as pop. To pop method, you are supposed to go and pass the key to remove the specific item. Okay, even there is something called a pop items to remove the last item of dictionary. If you want to remove everything from the dict, you can use the clear method. Otherwise there is del keyword, so you can use del keyword also to delete the specific element by using indexer syntax. Okay, let's see how we can use the pop method to remove something. Okay, so here I will use d dot pop. Okay, and you are supposed to pass the key here. So I'm going to pass the key as a name. So I'm going to delete the name. And now if I try to print the dict, let's run this. So you can see that name is not there in my dictionary, output dictionary. Similarly, if you use the pop item, so by default, this is going to remove the last inserted items. You don't need to pass the any key and all for this. So if I go and if I run this, you can see that we don't have location here because this is what the item we have inserted last. Okay. So pop item is used to remove the last item by default. Okay. There is something called a clear method. If you want to remove all the elements of a dictionary, we can use the clear method also. Okay, so this is what the symbol of blank dictionary. And if you want to delete any specific item, we're using del keyword. You can use del stands for the delete, and d of, you can say, email. Okay, and then you will be able to delete that item. Even now, if I go and if I run this, you can see the output here. We don't have email. So this is how we can remove the items from dictionary. Now, how we can apply the loops on dictionary elements. Okay, so if you go directly and apply the for loop, it will return the keys only. Okay, let's try this first. So if I go, okay, let's skip the items. I don't want to remove anything. So I will say for I in D. Okay, so if you apply the loop directly, and if you go and if you say print I, so this is going to return us the key of each dictionary item. If I go and if I run this, so you can see that name, email, DOB, and location is written. Then if you want to access, we can use the indexer syntax, because this is what the, if you want to access the values, we can use the indexer syntax. And if I say D of I, so every time I is going to pass the new value of key, and we will get the values in this way also. So now you can see here, I'm getting the values of dictionary items. Okay. Now, even we have seen few methods that if you want to get the values and all, even if you want to get the dict keys, so there is a method called keys. So you can use the keys method to access the keys, and even this will go and return you the, okay, this is what does this is trying to say. Oh, I'm going to pass D here. Okay, I don't want to pass D. Instead of that, I wanted to print the I, because I is the container for key or reference for key. So here we can get the keys in this way. If you want to get the values directly, you can use the values method. Even here in this case, you will get the values directly. You can see that these are these many values I'm getting. Okay, now, so key value and key and values method we have seen. Okay, there is one more method to apply the loop. Okay, at the same time, if you want to get the data for key and value pair, so in this way you can use but d dot items method, you can go and you can use. Okay, so d dot items. Okay, this is how yes, there is a method called items, my bad. So here we use in. Okay, so we can use two. One is for, first one will be for key, and another one will be for the values. Okay, and if I go and if I say print, I would like to print the value of I comma j, and if you want to pass anything in between that, any character, so you can pass. Okay, and this will return, meaning here I will be referred for the keys, j will be referred for the values, and item is going to return as the each key value pair. Okay, so dict items it is going to return, and we are just going to unpack that the way we have unpacked, meaning we have seen unpacking of tuples kind of things. So if I go and if I run this, so now you can see that this is returning me name versus the its value, email versus its value, DOB versus its value, location versus its value. Okay, so this is how we can use the loops on dictionary. Even it's not like that. Okay, we can have the dictionary, nested dictionary, and meaning as a value another dictionary can be there. Okay, so we will see that part also. Even here we can have the list, It's not like that every time you should have the values. Okay, so you can have the list type data here also. Even as a key, you can use the list, tuple, that kind of things are also possible with the help of dictionary. Accordingly, we need to work. Okay. So copy of dictionary. So there are two methods. One is copy method and one is the dict constructor. You can use both to create the copy. Otherwise, so simply if you go and if you say D1 is equal to D, okay, this is not going to create a copy. Okay, instead of this, what it will do, it will give the reference of D. Reference of D. Meaning, if I go and if I say print ID of D and print ID of D1, let's see what will be the output. So here you can see that both the numbers are same, meaning this is not going to copy the dictionary. Instead of that, it will just give the reference to the D1. Okay. But what I want is I wanted to copy this, so I will say D dot copy. Okay, and now what it will do, it will create another copy. So D1 will be the separate dictionary, D will be the separate dictionary. So now if I go and if I run this, so you can see that both the dictionaries are stored at different locations, right? Different IDs are there. So this is how we can create the copy. Even you can use the dict constructor also. If I say dict of D, so this is also going to create the copy of dictionary. So you can see that two different numbers are there. Right. What will happen if we directly use the D here? Okay, so since this is giving the reference, if we made the changes, we remove the any item from the D, it will remove the item from the D1. Meaning because D1 is going to refer for the D only. Okay, and in that case, if you want to create the copy and another copy, whatever you have created, that should not get affected by any operation performed on the first dictionary. So you are supposed to use the copy method or dict constructor to create a copy of dictionary. Okay, now we will see what is nested dictionary and how to access the element. Okay, let's say we have a dictionary in this way. It is fine. Instead of names, okay, we have three different types of names: first name, last name, middle name. So I'm going to pass the another dict as a F name, let's say Brahma, okay, as a M name, as a, and then L name as a Bachute. Okay, so this is what the another dictionary inside a dictionary, right? Dictionary inside a dictionary. So in that case, we can say this is our nested dictionary. Now the question is how to access the elements of this internal or inner dictionary. So what you can do, you can use this syntax, okay? And if you say this is a name, so obviously what this is going to return us, so you are very much familiar with this now. And if I say print and run this, okay, so this is returning me another dictionary. Okay, so the same syntax, indexer syntax, if you want to follow, just go and add the one more square bracket and write the uh, pass the key. Okay, and here you will get the value of F name, right? So this is what the syntax you need to follow. Even if you want to apply the loop, how you will apply the loop? Obviously, if I say for I in a D, this is going to return as a key, right? Even if you want to get the values, so I will say D dot values. Okay, then I would like to check the data type because only one. If it is dictionary, then I need to apply the another loop, right? So I is going to contain the values, and if I print the I, you will see that it will print one dictionary also. If I run this, print I, So what is the issue? It says bulletin function or method object is not iterable. D dot values. Okay. Here it is a method. I should add that. And now you can see that first item of the dictionary is when first value of dictionary is another dictionary. So if this is dictionary, so you need to apply the another loop. Okay. So what you can do, you can check for the value using if type of I is equal to dict. Okay. In that case, you can go and you can apply the next loop for j in I dot values, right? For j in I dot values, and then you can say print j because I'm looking for all the values. Okay. If this is not true, if this is not a type of dictionary, it should go and it should print I. Right. This is what my expectation. So now let's see how we can get the output. So this is able to give me the values of nested dictionary also by using obviously. So if there is a nested dictionary, you need to use the nested loops. So the loops inside a loop is nothing but nested loops. Okay. So this is how we can work with the dictionaries in Python. Even this is very much important when you are dealing with the software. So obviously, whenever you have to submit the data by using the form, so there you will have the data in the form of dictionary only. And you need to get the data, you need to access the data by using key and value. Okay. So that's all about the dictionary in Python. I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Please do not forget to subscribe the web champ and do not forget to subscribe this video with your friends.